This is Christina from The Upcoming. So lovely to speak with you today.
Hi, Christina. Nice to talk to you too.
Would you like to tell us a bit about Bootsy, your character in Government Cheese?
Sure. Bootsy is a free spirited man who is very comfortable in his own skin and enjoys looking at life from a perspective that is unimpeded by unnecessary obligations, if you will.
What were your initial impressions of this character, and did that change over time?
My initial impression of this character was that it was so well written and funny and exciting. And it was something that I definitely wanted to be the actor who was lucky enough to portray. And it didn't really change over time. You know, I really felt like I understood who he was from the first couple of lines of his that I read in the initial script. I just felt like I got this guy. I know who this is. So I've been kind of steady with that perspective about him.
And what drew you to this project initially?
Well, initially, to be honest with you, I turned it down initially because there just wasn't enough prep time. They literally let me know about it on a Thursday, and they wanted me to be on set the following Monday, which just isn't enough time to get it together. So I turned it down, but then I read it. I turned it down without reading it. I just said, no, there's not enough time, and I put it out of my mind, or I tried to put it out of my mind. And then I actually read it, and I said, oh, this is fantastic. And it was the fact that, you know, a Black American family was being depicted in this offbeat, quirky, kind of surrealistic manner. And I realized that that's never been done before. And I'm the type of person that always wants to be involved with something first, early on, like to be a pioneer. That's my dream, is to pioneer something. And so here was an opportunity to be part of something new. And so that definitely attracted me to it.
And how did you prepare for the role with that small amount of time?
Although they ended up giving me more time. That's the second part, is when I told my agent, oh man, I would love to be involved with this, but it's just not enough time. He said, well, I've expressed that to them, and guess what? They decided to give me more time. But the way I prepared for it was a couple of functions. I'd worked on a picture before that dealt with the Black American experience in the Vietnam War as soldiers, as infantrymen. And there was a book that I read to prepare for that role called Bloods. And so I reread, it's a lot of different individual accounts of war. And that's so I read some of those accounts that really had spoke to me the first time I read it. And I reread that because Bootsy's a veteran, he's a combat veteran. And so I reread that. And then I also just spoke a lot with Paul about the character, because Bootsy's based on a real person that Paul knew growing up. And so I just picked his brain for information. And, you know, those two things helped me feel ready to come set.
And the show's title, Government Cheese, is very, very special and historical, and also just very unique. Was it something you had heard about before? Did you feel any connection to the title?
I did, because growing up, I'd always heard older people talk about government cheese. And what I gleaned from listening to those older people talk was that it was something that was both sad and also defiant in a way, because it's government subsidized foods. And quite frankly, when you live in a wealthy country like this, we shouldn't have to subsidize anything, but it's a whole other topic. But the main thing about it is that it's about making something out of nothing. And it's about taking this block of cheese and seeing how creative you can get with it. And, you know, it's great for grilled cheese, macaroni and cheese, things of that nature, cheese eggs, cheese grits, whatever, boom, 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 all kinds of different things that you can make. You might look at it as just a block of cheese, but it represents more than that. It can keep families fed to a degree. It can spice things up and make things a little bit more interesting, and just see how creative you can be with it. And ultimately, how can you find something magical in the mundane? And that's what it means to me.
That was beautifully said. Thank you
Oh,
so
thank you.
much.